This month on Focus Black Oklahoma.
Join us as we listen to an excerpt from a newly released Audible documentary, Tribal Justice, The Struggle for Black Rights on Native Land, reported and written by 2 award-winning indigenous journalists.
Learn about the Walidayn Center on the coast of Kenya and its work to facilitate education and healthcare for young women.
Discuss a recent rezoning proposal affecting several black neighborhoods in Enid.
Hear how Big Bertha helps Tulsans achieve their fitness goals.
And join Sondra Slade as she weaves a tale about a winter wardrobe malfunction.
All this and more on Focus Black Oklahoma.
Focus Black Oklahoma is sponsored by the Black Church Traditions and African American Faith Life program at Phillips Seminary, offering a master's degree in social justice online and in person. Learn more at wherefaithleads.com.
This is Focus Black Oklahoma. I'm Jacob Littlebear.
And I'm Kuma Roberts.
You're listening to Focus Black Oklahoma. I'm Allison Herrera, one of the creators of Tribal Justice, the struggle for Black rights on Native land. The full story can be found on Audible. In our last installment, we heard about Michael Hill, a Cherokee freedman who was arrested by the Okmulgee police in the fall of 2020. He fought to have his case transferred to tribal court because he's an enrolled citizen of the Cherokee Nation. After all, this was right after the landmark McGirt decision, which returned criminal jurisdiction to tribal nations in Oklahoma when they involved Native people, like Michael. But his case was complicated because of his status as a Black man with no blood quantum. His case didn't qualify to be transferred. In this series, we've been exploring how centuries-old laws have impacted people like Michael and his brother Mikhail, who was tragically murdered in 2016. His case was transferred out of state court, even though, like Michael, he's an enrolled Cherokee freedman. Keep listening to find out why. I couldn't wrap my head around this, so I turned to Robert Gifford again to help me understand what felt like a double standard when it comes to citizenship. Gifford theorizes the key difference between considering citizenship in the 2 cases. Mikhail was the victim of the crime, while Michael was considered the perpetrator. So, while both of them are Cherokee citizens with no blood quantum, only Mikhail's mattered. In the midst of the chaos of his case, Michael has found his way back to the basketball court.
Good defense, tight. Move on. Hey, stay over here. Put your hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. There we go. Go, Tay. Go get it, Tay.
He's doing the thing he loves, working with young people. Right now, he's coaching his daughter's team, called the Kool-Aid Jammers. As they get ready to go back out onto the court, the kids put their hands in a circle and say the team name for motivation.
All right, we're going to go back with the girls.
Then we win.
Right, yeah, it ain't over yet. The second quarter.
Right now.
Kool-Aid Jammers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Being out here on the court coaching again is a big deal for Michael.
How does it feel to be coaching today?
I feel good. They came out. They were playing good, pretty good today. Yeah. We did good.
This is one of the first times I've seen him look happy since I met him. He's smiling, laughing, and joking around with the kids and some of the parents. It's as if the whole situation, his lawyer, the plea deal, the court case, and arrest, never happened.
Yeah, I feel real good. I feel good, man. I woke up in good spirits this morning. Whenever I do this, it takes my mind off of everything that I go through. This is why I find my joy working with these little kids. Yeah.
This young lady.
Daughter right here.
Michael's daughter, Taylor, comes over and says hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
You're playing really well today.
Thank you.
I appreciate you letting us come out. I know this is a lot, but we'll be at your court date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay, well, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll see you later.
It's now January, and a couple of months have passed since we were last with Michael at the Okmulgee County Courthouse. He's hopeful that he's going to get what he wants, that today he can walk out of court and not have to come back. We take a seat inside the courtroom and wait for him to be called, and once it's his turn, it's clear he's going to have to come back yet again.
What happened in the courtroom today?
A big lie, basically.
The attorney came to you, and what did he say that the district attorney is offering you to?
I guess 2 years deferred sentence, and I would have to pay fines and go to probation.
But he's already been almost on, you might as well say probation for 4 years now. It's been going, it'll be 4 years in September. This is another new year, you know? And we back to square one again.
And Michael was frustrated about it.
Back to square one. I'm irritated. This irks me. Every time I go in that building, it's freaking a bad vibe when you go in there. Man, bro.
Ron Jones affirms Michael's frustration.
Like Michael, if you sit down and talk to this guy, you're going to see that, you know, he's not someone you want to send to jail, prison, needs to be on probation, any of those things. But there's no time in a system that locks up as many people as Oklahoma does for those sorts of conversations, even between attorney and DA, to be had and fleshed out, etc.
But Jones says it's even worse for many other Oklahomans.
I know that I'm busting my ass for Michael, and I also know that there are so many of these cases happening every day in this state where ain't nobody busting their ass and somebody just taking a charge because that no one is advocating for them.
At this point, Michael's options are take a plea, saying he's guilty. He'd get a year of probation and pay fines. Or he can ditch the plea deal, maintain he's not guilty, and take the case to trial. Going to trial comes with a risk. If he wins, he'd be free. But if he loses, the judge could potentially give him a much longer sentence.
What are the chances that he could just walk away, or what are his chances of going to jail or prison?
No one knows. I'm the best trial lawyer I know, and I don't know. I couldn't tell if I wanted to. No one knows. In those sorts of things, you never know what fact, what thing, what element, or what issue will persuade a jury this way or that way. And that's the thing of it, right? It's a boom or bust. You could go home, you could go to prison. It's a boom or bust endeavor.
Michael is feeling like what he's going through is not fair. We don't know what would have happened to him if tribal police had come that night he called 911. And we don't know what would have happened if he'd gone to tribal court. But we do know that tribal justice systems in Oklahoma are starting to offer more holistic alternatives to punitive sentences. I spoke with the Attorney General for the Muskogee Nation, and she told me that they try to use restorative justice and know and take into account some of the trauma Native people have experienced when they commit crimes. She says it's not like they're trying to avoid punishing people for things they've done wrong, but they don't want a conviction to ruin people's lives. Standing outside the courtroom, Michael vented to us.
This whole town is full of crap. It's not right, man. Then I can get recognized by Cherokee Nation as a freaking member, but through the court system, I'm not a member. I can get everything that the tribe offers, but through the freaking state court, I'm not a freaking member. Come on, man. Not an angry person, but when you deal with dumb stuff, it makes you angry. Just because I say I'm angry, that don't mean I'm gonna go out and do something dumb. What I'm gonna do is go crawl in my freaking shell and sit in my house like I always do, and don't want to do nothing. I started back coaching because I'm thinking it's about to be over with. I coached my daughter's basketball team at the YMCA. That brings me so much joy whenever I see other kids happy and I'm helping these other kids. Then when you get that bad news, it makes me don't even want to do it no more.
No, you continue. That's what's helping you. It's going to be over with soon. It's going to be over. So just continue to do it. You didn't came this far, so...
Michael is frustrated with the rights he doesn't have as a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. But just a few years ago, he didn't even have that.
Affordable housing and community development took center stage in Enid during a recent town hall meeting addressing a rezoning proposal. While some viewed the proposal as an opportunity for revitalization and affordable living, others raised concerns about taxes and the potential impact on their land. Here's Venson Fields with details.
Affordable housing became an increasingly popular political topic this past election cycle, with initiatives appearing on many city, county, and state ballots. These measures took the form of dedicated tax revenues, government bonds, and rezonings, just to name a few. On January 24th in Enid, a town hall meeting took place to address concerns from residents after mailed notifications were received and neighborhood signs posted of a rezoning proposal. Residents were apprehensive about the proposal because they didn't know what was going on, what to expect, or what it would mean to them. At First Missionary Baptist Church, a church rebuilt from the ashes of the 1996 race-related arson attacks, a presentation was given for the rezoning proposal of the East Park Edition, Southern Heights Edition, Southern Heights Second Edition, and the Long Island Heights Edition. All of these editions reside in the predominantly Black neighborhood known as the Ville, located in the southeast part of Enid. County records indicate the property values in the proposed editions range from $500 for the least expensive property up to $170,275 for the most expensive property. Only 4 properties were listed above $100,000, and Blacks maintained the majority of ownership in the additions. The zoning would be changed from R2, which is for residential single-family homes, to R4, allowing residential duplex and 2-family homes. The meeting was well received by the majority of residents who cited affordability, opportunity for development, and reinvigorating the community as positives. An example was given of building a duplex, living in one unit, and renting out the other unit to finance the build and earn future passive income. Doyle Lewis, a retired property owner, shared his thoughts in favor of the proposal.
I'm so supportive of this particular move. And I wanted to come out in front of it because I think that it gives each individual that's in that particular area an opportunity to enhance their property, to do more with it, because going from R2 to R4, you no longer have to just have a single family home there. You can do a duplex. You can like one of the things that I've heard in some of the meetings that I've been to is that you can live in one part of the property and you can rent out the other. And so those type of things I think is only going to be beneficial to the people that are there. So that to me is the highlight. And from a personal standpoint, I want to personally buy up as many properties as I possibly can over there, and to maintain the type of residents that are currently there, so that there isn't a change, an overall change in what's currently made up in the Southern Heights community.
Ray Graves, another retired property owner, discussed how she found out about the proposal and voiced her concerns.
When I came back from Christmas holidays, early part of January, and I went to the meeting because I hadn't been to one in a long time, and that's when they were talking about it. And I asked them, "What are you talking about?" So I had no idea. But that's when I didn't like what I was hearing. One thing is my mom always told me to keep a watch. So all that came right back what Mama was telling me. The pros would be if it stays our land, and if you want to build on it, let us build on it, or if you buy it from someone else. But the thing is, the pros is you want to build up the neighborhood the way it was when we grew up here. But the cons, you want to take it? Really? And you're lying about it. And that's what I feel that they're not being truthful about the land.
After the meeting, Assistant City Manager Scott Morris, who presided over the meeting, shared his views on some of the benefits provided by the proposal.
I think it's a great program that's really meant to benefit both people that already live here that have an additional lot that just want to do their own construction, maybe move a relative or family member in. But it also might be beneficial for a developer to come find a few lots and provide an opportunity for some renters to come in and have a nice place to stay. Should be helpful for affordable housing opportunities and really launch the community forward. You know, the whole idea is to rebuild this community. We've invested a lot of money in new water mains, and we have done some repaving of streets in the area. So, you know, we'd like to see this area come back alive.
Mr. Morris also stated that after several committee recommendations, hearings, and a final vote of the City Commission, the process will be completed 30 days after the final vote. According to the presentation, the property owner has the option to build or not to build. If they choose to build, they can build single-family homes, duplexes, or two-family homes using traditional or manufactured construction. Dan Scheidel, CEO and Executive Director of the United Way of Enid and Northwest Oklahoma, attended the town hall meeting and explained how he was made aware of the proposal.
Well, I know that I had conversations with our commissioner, Commissioner Derwin Norwood, a couple of years ago. We were starting to talk about affordable housing, and it was one of the things that the Oklahoma Academy was involved in one of their town halls. And so I got involved with that, knowing that that was one of the things that really needed to be addressed, not only in Enid, but also in the state of Oklahoma and really across our nation.
Ward 2 Commissioner Derwin Norwood, who spearheaded the proposal in his district, stated on a City of Enid public service announcement, quote, "People that can't afford a $250,000 to a $500,000 home, you're looking at maybe $160,000 to $215,000, end quote. Mr. Scheidel also discussed his involvement with the proposal.
Got involved with that a few years ago, and we did a study, which is a community study and survey and assessment, if you will, with United Way, and that was one of the things that came up, you know, that affordable housing, accessible to folks in the community, and so that's how I got involved.
Mr. Scheidel referenced the Oklahoma Academy, which has affordable housing listed as one of its public priorities and contributed to the assessment. This information can be viewed at www.okacademy.org. He also offered his opinion on what the proposal could mean for the areas involved.
From my understanding, from rezoning from R2 to R4, the pro is that they're given options. So homeowners, landowners in the Southern Heights District, because that's what we're talking about, the rezoning area, they are getting options to build either duplex homes or options to utilize their land a little bit differently. So I think that it just gives them opportunities that maybe they've never thought of before, that there's a opportunity to reinvest or invest in that area. So, and again, Southern Heights is not the only place that's been being looked at rezoning.
The rezoning proposal is touting affordable housing among its primary benefits, when in actuality, it is a community development program. The affordability aspect combines the rezoning proposal with a housing district overlay that was passed on August 6th of 2024, allowing manufactured and prefabricated homes that were previously restricted. Affordable development. Nothing was mentioned regarding special considerations for low-income residents. On February 4th, at the City Commission meeting, the proposal passed unanimously by a 7-0 vote, with building to commence as early as March 4th. For Focus Black Oklahoma, I'm Venson Fields in Enid.
You're listening to Focus Black Oklahoma.
Would you like to pitch a story to FBO?
Or work with us as a correspondent?
Please email us at contact@focusblackoklahoma.com.
Or call 918-807-3886. In the heart of Kinondo, Kwale County, the Walidayn Center stands as a beacon of hope, transforming lives through its free services amid a backdrop of high rates of sexual violence and teenage pregnancy. The center has dramatically reduced cases of gender-based violence, offering young girls a sanctuary and a pathway to empowerment in a community once plagued by drug trafficking and exploitation. Zaakirah Muhammad reports from Kenya.
At the heart of the Walidayn Center's operation is a commitment to providing free services that empower and uplift the community of Kinondo, Kwale County, Kenya. Located in the southwestern-most coast of Kenya, it has a girls' center, a boys' center, an academy with vocational training classes, a mosque, and a hospital. The 2014 Kenya Demographic and Health Survey revealed that Kwale County recorded the highest rate of sexual exploitation and violence, with over 79.2% of women and girls affected. The average pregnancy rate for ages 10 through 19 was 35.44%. The report then states that forced and child marriages in Kwale were common, with 37.9% of the girls married at the age of 16. Causes of teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence, or GBV, in Kwale County have plummeted in the last 2 years, according to county health statistics. Data shows that cases dropped from 35% in 2022 to 15% in January 2024, which is the national average. Fatima Bakhtiar, CEO of the Walidayn Center since 2021, leads a nonprofit organization dedicated to transforming young lives, providing a sanctuary for young girls and a pathway to a brighter future. Bakhtiar shares the center's mission, her passion, and her efforts to support a community once overshadowed by drug trafficking and prostitution.
We have different facilities offering different services free of charge to the community. We are based in a place that was known for very bad things. It used to be a drug hub. It used to be known for prostitution.
You want test?
So I studied law, but my main purpose of studying law was to give back to the community. But at some point in my studies, I realized that with my law career, I won't be able to give back the way that I wanted to. I wanted to help people promote their welfare and their living. But with my law career, I would be limited to just help them when it comes to legal support and legal help, which not everyone is going through such issues.
Hawa Mangani, who has managed over 300 girls since the Girls Rescue Center's inception, has been a staff member since 2019. She shares,
in Kwale County, the girl child, reason because of retrogressive cultures, and there's a lot of poverty in Kwale County. So a lot of them are vulnerable. But we are happy that this year we are leading in the most empowered county in the country that empowers girls. Our governor is a girl, she's female, and there are a lot of stakeholders who have come up to support the girl child. And apparently we are the only rescue center in the whole of Kwale County.
Bakhtiar recounts a story of transformation where young girls find empowerment and hope through the center's programs.
I have a number of girls' stories. They have recently told me this, it's their testimonial that I'll just quote. They're very grateful being here because we've given them a second opportunity in life. These are girls who were victims probably of early child marriages. And because of being given a second chance in our place and the opportunities that we've provided them, these girls have completely transformed. They've changed their lives for the better. They are grateful for the opportunities that we've given them, for the work that we are doing, and they appreciate us every single day. They're all constantly reminding us of how much we have impacted their lives positively. And it gives me so much happiness and hope that we are on the right track of life. It's our main objective of having these rescue centers, to give these children a second chance in life, to give them a safe haven to live in.
Mangani recalls a specific moment that left a lasting impact on her, highlighting the deep need for protective and nurturing environments for young girls.
A small child, 5 years old, she came in a very devastating state. She had been defiled by her father, both ways, sodomized, and we had to go through several fixal repairs. So it was one of my worst experiences because I have a child the same age. So every time I used to attend to her, every time I see her, I used to relate that to my daughter, and it was very, very painful for me.
The primary focus at Walidayn Hospital is HIV treatment, where comprehensive care is offered free of charge to the community. After Zani, a seasoned laboratory technologist at Walidayn Hospital, has over 30 years of experience focused on delivering comprehensive HIV treatment, healthcare, and addressing gender-based violence.
GBV stands for gender-based. The young people who are abused by maybe family members or their husbands, the prostitutes also, who can sell them. Most of them are ladies, but men are also in plenty here. We've been serving them. And also children, we have quite a number of children. As Msambweni zone is a malaria-based zone, so most of the outpatient clients, we are helping them, especially in the malaria and the HIV community, or HIV people are vulnerable to transmission of other diseases like flu. They get all the of diseases. They get them. So we help all those people with the treatment. We test them free.
Despite their unwavering commitment, the hospital faces significant challenges. Zani discusses limited access to costly medications, a hurdle that complicates the delivery of effective treatment.
And we give them the medication we can afford. So for other treatment that we can't afford, we refer them because we can't have all the expensive drugs here and then we give them free. So we refer them to our other centers.
Additionally, the stigma surrounding HIV still looms large, often creating barriers for patients traveling from places like Mombasa in Tanzania to seek the care they need. Zani shared the reason why the hospital was built next to the rescue centers.
Our goal is to help the community and also to help the HIV-affected clients and also the gender-based, like you can see we have the research center here. So all those children brought here, we take care. So that is our main goal. That's why we brought our center near these young children. And also we brought it this side because our main center is at Likoni very far. At first we used to traffic them from this side to Likoni. But now we thought it would be easier if we look for a place near or a central place where we can assist those people from far and as far as Lunga. Even from Tanzania, they come from Tanzania and they come for treatment. So that's why we kept it here. And we'll be very happy if we give that assistance in full.
The center's broad impact extends beyond the lives of girls, influencing the future of the entire community. Hawa Mangani reflects on the importance of community support.
When these girls go home, because since we started in 2019, we've been able to support more than 300 girls. And majority of them have been reintegrated. So word is out there and they tell the story of Walidayn and the much support that they got from Walidayn.
Despite its critical mission, the center faces significant challenges such as financial constraints and a lack of support from larger organizations. Hawa also adds ways you can support.
Bringing up children is quite challenging, and we cannot bring up these children single-handedly. And we always invite anyone and everyone who would be able to come on board and assist in empowering these children. Because one, they need a sense of belonging. And of course, there's the material aspect of children. They need clothing, they need school items.
Dr. Zaakirah candidly discusses the hurdles, underscoring the critical need for continued assistance in order to maintain the integrity of the center.
Aside from the financial constraints, we also lack support from big organizations that I'm sure if we had their support, perhaps we would have been able to do like a lot more things. And other than that, we have people from marginalized communities living in this area. So sometimes having to maintain these facilities, the high standards that we had built them with, is so difficult because they don't know how to maintain. We have a donor who is our main sponsor at school. Because of him, our school is running and is supporting more than 450 children. And these are children not only from our rescue centers, but also from the community. These children get free education. The only thing that they're expected to come with is their books and the uniform, that's it. But other than that, everything is being sponsored by this donor who makes sure every month he sends in his contribution in time for the teachers to be paid their salaries and for the electricity bill to be paid as well.
Looking ahead, Zaakirah shares ambitious plans for future construction at the high school, which will further enhance the center's impact.
We intend to have our own high school within so that there's that continuity of education. Instead of our children having to go to other high schools elsewhere, we'll have that within. This is also going to help us reduce on the cost of taking our children from the rescue centers to other schools elsewhere, because we'll be expected to pay school fees for them, which will be difficult for us to come up with. We are hoping that we will be able to do this in the next few months, perhaps. The construction has stalled because of lack of funds. But inshallah, if we get enough support and are able to get that running, then would be a fully complete school, and the children from this community would not necessarily have to go elsewhere to get their services.
Walidayn is an Arabic term for the children showing kindness to two parents. Walidayn Center's work in offering safety, healthcare, education, and vocational training is making a profound impact in Kenya, equipping children with the tools they need to thrive. To learn more, contribute through monetary donation, and inquire about volunteering, go to walidancenter.org. ALWALIDAYNCENTER.org. Or search on Instagram and Facebook at Walidayn Center. ALWALIDAYNCENTER. For Focus Black Oklahoma, I'm Zaakirah Muhammad in Miami Beach, Kenya.
Thanks for joining us on Focus Black Oklahoma. Public health is a public good, and Isaac Bennett, owner and founder of Growth Fitness Daily, is leveraging public spaces to make people healthier. Here's Anthony Cherry with more.
Looked up, hands on my knees, gasping for air. The top of the hill seemed forever away. I clung to the dirt path worn smooth by countless Tulsans who had come before me. My t-shirt was soaked with gallons of sweat. Every muscle in my body was screaming at me. Big Bertha is the hill's name. It was so intimidating, it seemed almost insurmountable at first. As I struggled upward, I watched in disbelief as others glided past me, running effortlessly with smiles on their faces, seemingly unfazed by the challenge that felt like pure torture to me. I finally made it up to the climax of the hill, which seemed like the mountain of despair Dr. King spoke of. With my hands on my hips, gasping for my next breath, I turned around and absorbed the most breathtaking view of Osage County in Tulsa. An overwhelming sense of hope and accomplishment flooded my mind. Only 9 more trips back up and down the hill to go. Conquering Big Bertha for the first time was one of the most grueling physical challenges I've ever faced. Yet, it was also one of the most exhilarating and rewarding experiences of my life. Isaac Bennett, the owner and founder of Grow Daily Fitness, created the challenge as an opportunity to engage with others and improve the overall health of the city he loves. As a health and fitness coach, he serves as a community activist who helps the community get active.
Yeah, Big Bertha is for everybody. I was looking at a post before I came here just to, jog my memory. But even back then I was saying, bring your parents, bring your kids, and kids bring your parents and tell them to get out and walk as well.
Bennett explained the origin of Big Bertha's name.
I named the hill Big Bertha after my older sister, Tiffany Bennett. Man, shout out to my sister. And I'm glad that she has a sense of humor. When I think about Big Bertha, I think about, and that was actually her nickname in high school. Think about something that's stern, forgiving, loves you, and is tough on you, right? So when I think about that, I think about, think about my sister. She's always there, always going to be there for you. He loves you, most loving person I know.
Kaylin Brewer works in the city of Tulsa's Permit Center by day and by night as a tax accountant.
Like the first time I started doing Big Bertha, I climbed up it. I got halfway there and I looked up and realized I was only halfway there. And then I just kept going after that. And then you get the most beautiful scenery of Tulsa, Oklahoma from on top of that hill.
Brewer reflects on the experience.
There was a whole bunch of people out there going up and down this hill for like 3 hours. It was cold. It was slippery, but we were all having a blast. It was cool. So like for me, it's physical fitness wise, it's helped out. But really from more of like a holistic standpoint, I get to be around other people. So, and that's how we finish. We finish strong together. If it actually motivates me not to run faster, but to run with a group of people so that we're all making that same progress. We may be progressing at different levels, but we're all moving as a unit.
Eric Reese is a fraud analyst for the Bank of Oklahoma. He played high school football with Bennett at Booker T. Washington High School and considers him a brother for life.
I'm still on my fitness journey. Let's go that far with it. But how it started was we're going to be getting into Big Bertha, but really his posts that he had, like he would post every week on Facebook. Like me, I'm not as sociable as he is. And then just sitting there and seeing him like just have all sorts of people come and multi-generational people. And it's just, yeah, it's impressive.
Bennett has an open invitation to middle school, high school, and college teams to come train at Big Bertha.
Like they come, like some of the football players from high school, like they do it for training or just going out there. And next thing I know, Isaac's like, I can't let these young buds just beat me on this. I got to go out there further.
Come on, man.
We do workouts out there. And just kids will run up there and do all that. And he would wind up teaching them how to work out and grow there. So for me, seeing him and seeing what his mission is, it's been very impressive.
Aside from expanding his personal Grow Daily Fitness brand, Bennett has crafted broader community impact goals.
I wrote down at the start of this year, I have an impact goal, at least to reach 1,000 people. And they can impart that, to somebody else. And, it's like a chain effect, right? And from one person, so many people can be reached. I've spoken at high schools and I've seen the impact of, when people aren't educated, students not knowing what a protein, a carb, or fat is, not understanding the basics of nutrition.
Bennett reflects on why certain communities struggle with more serious health challenges than others.
But the only reason why they don't understand the basics of nutrition is because their parents don't understand. You can't teach anything that you don't know. So then that's why I use my platforms to educate. That's why I hold these spaces to, socialize and exercise, because we want to talk about health and fitness in these spaces. But I've always felt the same way about health and fitness, about exercise, and about, putting the right things in my body. But at the same time, I think that everyone deserves to know that they can grow at their own pace, right? I got a saying, grow where you are.
Bennett's goal of reaching 1,000 people starts as a grassroots effort in more ways than one.
So, and I'm starting in order, right? So fresh off of Sunday drinking and fried foods, we have the Monday walks, and we made the Monday walks on purpose because I know what a lot of people do on Monday. So, before the Monday walks, 6 p.m. we meet up at Fulton Street, Coffee and Bucks. At 5 p.m. Before the Monday walks, we have our Run the Bridges segment, 2 mile run, 4 bridges, and that is at Fulton Street as well. On Thursdays, we run, 3 to 5 miles, and we're meeting up at Fulton Street right now. And then, the most important or the most frequent is Big Bertha on Saturdays. Right. Big Bertha on Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. till about 11 o'clock.
Bennett also has a vision for Big Bertha as public land.
The vision for the hill is for it to become an official landmark here in North Tulsa. All right. So I'm thinking, stairs from the bottom to the top, some parking at the bottom or at the top. Still trying to see what that looks like. A lot of people visit that place every year. And I feel like Big Bertha can be that for Tulsa.
It could be a bucket list for athletes all around the world.
For sure. And then, obviously we have the hill and people just love walking the hill, but being able to have some stairs will make it more accessible for those who aren't as comfortable walking on, dirt and grass.
Isaac Bennett's life's work has had a profound impact on my own family, and I hope this story influences yours. My father, Jimmy Cherry, was a hard-working Black man who built several homes and buildings as a carpenter in Tulsa. He took care of everyone and everything but himself. Decades of poor eating habits and physical exertion had caused deep issues with his health. In the twilight of his life, his body had broken down to the point where I was deeply concerned. He poured his soul into every nail and beam, nurturing the city's growth while neglecting his own well-being. It was at this critical juncture that Isaac Bennett stepped in, offering a lifeline. Without expecting anything in return, Bennett generously devoted his time to meet with my father. He provided crucial motivation and crafted a personalized diet plan that not only improved my father's health, but ultimately extended his life. Bennett's selfless act of kindness became a turning point, making my father more mindful as he pursued a more fulfilling life in his twilight years. By waging war against the interconnected health threats of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, inactivity, and loneliness, Isaac Bennett and other community leaders like him are not just improving individuals' lives, they're strengthening the fabric of the entire community and paving the way for a healthier, more connected future. You can reach Isaac Bennett at www.growdailyfitness.com or Grow Daily on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. For Focus, Black Oklahoma, I'm Anthony Cherry in Tulsa.
Whether it's apple-bottom jeans or boots with the fur, some outfits are meant to turn heads. But this story from Sondra Slade about a winter wardrobe malfunction will leave you in stitches.
Everyone has at least one favorite outfit, t-shirt, dress, shoes, jewelry, or something. When they put it on, it makes them feel that razzle-dazzle and adds a bit of pep to their step. Try as I might not to get attached to items. I am very intentional about the jewelry I wear. It's usually something custom made, gifted from certain people, or it looks amazing with whatever I'm wearing. When I lived in Atlanta, my sisters would come and visit, and of course, we would shop till some of the malls closed. Even though they would drive back with new items, they would occasionally borrow an item from me. Well, they said borrow. I would say steal because I'm not driving 800 miles to get it back. So in a sense, it became theirs. Well, it's not super cold in Atlanta until the hawk comes. And when that happens, you want to wrap up in the nearest blanket and stay in. I like the chill, however, because it sometimes reminded me of Oklahoma and I would get a bit homesick and couldn't wait for a chill in the air. One of my favorite dresses during the winter was this chocolate and caramel colored sweater dress. The color was popping and I had a pair of cognac colored boots that were almost up to my thighs and just enough heels to make me 5'5". So in my mind, I was almost 6 feet tall and I could hear Nancy Sinatra singing "These Boots Were Made for Walking" in the background with each step. My boyfriend at the time, Keenan, purchased me a cognac colored leather jacket from Wilson's Leather because he told me you gotta make sure you coordinate, like John Witherspoon said in the movie Boomerang. It was supposed to be getting ready to be cold, and I had already been doing a lot the past couple of weeks. I mean, my job really had me going, and I hadn't had much time to hang out with my friends. But it was Friday night, and I couldn't wait because my friends and I had decided to go get something to eat and play some games at Dave & Buster's. That morning, I grabbed my Dave & Buster's card just to make sure I could cash some of my tokens in and get something since they had been just sitting on the card. I already knew that I wanted to eat spinach artichoke dip with chips, finishing with a pasta dish. Also, I couldn't wait to finish this competition between Keenan and I. I knew that at basketball hoops he might get me, but not at my specialty favorite, air hockey, where I was a reigning champion. So of course, I knew I was going to have a killer time and my outfit also had to be a killer. All day at work, I was flying through my work because nothing was going to have me delayed to have some fun. A couple of my coworkers said they would meet us all up at Dave & Buster's, and I was so extra amped. I told some coworkers bye, tidied up my desk, and headed to the bathroom to grab my lunch sack. Then I stopped to go to the bathroom. I couldn't get out the doors fast enough. I opened the door, and that cold hawk air hit me with a huge gust. I pulled my jacket tight, slightly bent my head down, and walked as fast as I could to my little black Honda Civic. I quickly started it up and turned on the heat so my legs would be able to feel again. One thing about working in the fraud department at General Electric, Fridays we got off at 3:30, so I knew I had time to kill before happy hour would start at 5. So I decided to run some errands. With the cold wind blowing, I knew I didn't want to be getting out of the car, so I decided to maximize my efforts and still remember that Atlanta traffic can get you caught up and late without notice. I decided that I would run to MedX and Target. Directly across the street was a Quick Trip, and I figured, let me grab a warm cup of cocoa before I got my shopping on. I got out the car and that gust hit me, almost making my car door slam back, but I caught it just in time. I knew exactly what size hot chocolate I would get and got excited because they had the whipped cream sitting out. I swirled some whipped cream at the bottom and I noticed these two guys checking me out. I smiled, but continued so that the hot chocolate can hit that whipped cream. I grab a stirrer and add a bit more whipped cream. I decided to myself, even though the chips were tempting, I knew I would have loads of food and leftovers. I walked to the counter and the clerk is grinning and the two guys as well. I reach into my purse to get my money and I can almost feel the guy breathing on my neck. I give him a harsh look and they're still smiling. I mean, I'm cute, but this is overboard. I pay for my hot chocolate and the clerk says, make sure you come back. I say, yeah, whatever. Open the door, and it seems like it's getting colder. I shrug it off because I take a sip of my hot chocolate, and now I'm feeling warm inside. Since it seemed to be getting colder, I figured I would leave the Target shopping to another day. Plus, I didn't want to miss 1 minute of happy hour at Dave & Buster's. So I sat in the parking lot for a moment because I heard the wind whipping. I took a couple more sips of my hot chocolate so I could have a boost of warmth. I buttoned my jacket and got out the car. The air hit me, but the warmth of the hot chocolate made me keep going. I glanced over and this guy was walking around his truck just cheesing at me. Then I noticed his lady coming out of the truck looking at me with disgust. I laughed to myself and said, oh, you hating, and added an extra switch to my step. Then it seemed like the air was getting colder, so I put an extra pep in my step to make it to the door faster. This older guy was looking at me, holding the door open and smiling with his 3 teeth. I smiled, thinking to myself, oh yeah, this outfit is getting all the looks. Just then, I remembered to check for my purse and my coupon. I stopped before the door as a couple that had been looking at me were walking up. As I reached down, I noticed I only felt my tights and my leather jacket. I stood there for a moment confused as to why I only felt my tights and my leather boots and jacket. I looked down and my beautiful sweater dress had tucked itself up underneath my leather jacket. I realized at that moment all anyone could see was the boots, tights, and the leather jacket. I pulled the dress down right there, smiled, and thanked the man for holding the door and walked in with my head held high. I felt relieved to be inside, but at the same time betrayed by my favorite outfit.
Focus, Black Oklahoma is produced in partnership with KOSU Radio and Tri-City Collective. Additional support is provided by the Commemoration Fund and Press Forward. Our theme music is by Moffat Music.
Focus Black Oklahoma's executive producers are Quraish Ali Lansana and Bracken Clar.
Our associate producers are Smriti Iyengar, Jesse Ulrich, and Naomi Agnew. Our production intern is Alexander Evans.
You can visit us online at kosu.org or focusblackoklahoma.com and on YouTube at Tri-City Collective. You can follow us on Instagram at FocusBlackOK and on Facebook at facebook.com/FocusBlackOK.
You can hear Focus Black Oklahoma on demand at kosu.org, the NPR app, npr.org, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you know KOSU accepts vehicles as a form of support? You get a tax deduction, and we'll take care of the rest. Visit kosu.org or call 855-277-2346.